I need to eat, and I need caffeine here. This is going to help you write the equation of the line given slope and a point, given 2 points, or given point slope form. Okay? We're going to start with the first box. It says point slope form. This is your point slope form. This is your formula. We're going to label the formula and the parts of it. Okay? The M is your slope. Okay? That is your slope. Your X and Y, the ones without numbers, are simply placeholders. They never change. They're just going to be X and Y. Okay? These two are placeholders. They don't change. Whether you're using point slope form, whether you're using slope intercept form, or whether you're using standard form of the line, all three have an X and a Y in it. They don't change. Okay? Then your Y1 and your X1, those are both your point. Okay? If you're given a point or if you're solving for a point.
Wait, what is
you're given point. You're writing on your handout, yes. You're writing this on your handout. You're writing it on your pink handout. Okay, all we did in the first box is label. Okay, I'll look at 115. All right, next, number 1. So find the box that says 1. The problem is above it. So it's numbered on the bottom and then the problem's above it. Does everybody understand that? Okay? Fork down here. It asks you to write the equation given slope and a point. The directions are backwards. I'm sorry. This is a foldable, guys. Because this mark says a foldable, when you use it, it'll make more sense, okay, when it's folded. But right now, if you notice, it says number 1, write the equation given a slope and a point. But the stuff above it is write the equation given 2 points. That's because when we fold it, it all goes together. Does that make sense? So we're looking at number 1, go above it. And the example says, write the equation of the line that passes through the points -2, 3, and 4, 7. Yes? Do we all know where we're at?
Yes.
All right. Here's the problem, the process. We're going to write the process and we're going to write the answer. Your solution process, step 1. Okay, we need to find slope. We're given 2 points, we need to find the slope. So find slope is step 1. What formula do I want to use to find slope? The slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's our slope formula. That's step 1. Okay? Now, in my y equals mx plus b, I have slope, and what's the b?
The beginning.
Beginning, but it's called what?
The Y-intercept.
The y-intercept. So I found slope, so what else do I need to find?
The Y-intercept.
To find the y-intercept. All right, you've got to find the y-intercept. Okay? So let's start with our slope. And we're going to find slope. I have -2, 3, 4, 7. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label them. This is my x1, y1, x2, y2. Remember, it doesn't matter which one's 1, which one's 2, as long as one of them's 1 and the other's 2. They're really good. All right, setting it up. I've got y2 minus y1, so I've got 7 minus 3. I'm going to put 7 minus 3 over, my x's are going to be 4 minus a -2. So I've got 4 minus a -2. Don't forget to put both signs. It's not just -2, it's minus a -2. Okay? Now, this is the point where you want to punch it in your calculator to make sure you get it right. 7 minus 3 is going to give me 4. 4 minus a negative 2. I have a double negative, so I'm going to add. So I end up with 4 plus 2, which is 6. Now that slope is not in the simplest terms, is it?
No.
No, so I'm going to reduce it. I'm going to divide by 2, because that's my greatest common factor. And I end up with 2 over 3 is my slope. When you're doing your work, it helps if you label things. That way when you get to the end of the problem, you know what's what. Okay? Once you have slope, you can go back and find your Y-intercept. Okay? You can use your point slope form because I now have a point and I have slope, don't I? So we're going to go back and use our point slope formula that's on the front of our paper, right? So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'm going to write my formula down. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. In this example, how many points do I have? I have 2. It doesn't matter which one you use, but make it easy on yourself. Use the one that doesn't have negatives in it. Okay? Keep it easy. Keep it simple. Y. It's a placeholder, right? When you look back up here, we said y and x are placeholders, yes? So I'm not going to do anything but bring them down. Put the y there. My equal sign's not going to change. And my x isn't going to change. Okay? So now all I have to do is fill in the holes. Y1. Well, I'm going to use this point instead of this point. It doesn't matter. I could use this point, but I don't want to deal with a negative 2. So I'm going to use this point. Y is 7. X is 4. And what was my slope? 2/3. Okay? Now this problem right here, if you solve this equation, it will give you your value of y or your value of x. Which one am I needing to find? What am I needing to find?
Y.
I'm needing to find my y-intercept, aren't I? But what did the original problem ask us to do? What was the exact problem?
Write the equation.
Write the equation, right? Do I not have an equation right there?
Mm-hmm.
So why move further? You don't need to. Okay? This is an acceptable answer. You could stop right here. This is an equation of the line that passes through those 2 points. Okay? The only difference is what if your answer choices are asking it in slope-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b. So you could stop here if that matches your answer choices. If it wants it in slope-intercept form, we're going to go one step further. Okay? And we're going to put it in y equals mx plus b. So here we go. This is finding that y-intercept. We're going to solve this. So when I have a number outside of parentheses, what do I do with it?
You distributive property.
Distributive property. I'm going to multiply it across everything inside. So now I have y minus 7 equals 2/3 x. 2/3 times a negative 4. This is when you get a calculator. Okay? Once you have a calculator, you punch it in. Okay? Does anybody already have a calculator in front of them?
Nope.
All right, so we're going to do fraction 2/3 times what? What am I multiplying it by? No, I'm not. I already did it times x.
4.
I'm multiplying it by 4. Okay, and you get 8/3. You keep your minus sign because it was negative here. Now, do I have y by itself yet?
To get to 3, like, does the calculator do it like how it's with a negative 4/1?
You don't have to. You put the whole 4 in there in the calculator and it'll give it to you. Now I need to get this 7 over here. Okay, it's minus 7 on this side, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides. I cancel out here and I end up with y equals 2/3 x. Now I have a negative 8/3 plus 7. Punch it in your calculator. You already had the 8/3 in there. So all you have to do is add 7 to it. and you get 13 over 3. Okay? It's a plus, turn positive. And right there, now which one's my y-intercept? Do I have y-intercept now?
Yes.
I sure do, right there, there's the b. Okay? So by finding the y-intercept, all I did was solve the point and slope form for y. Okay? So to find the y-intercept, all we did was solve the point slope form for y. Okay?
For the 13 over 3, is it still going to stay over?
Yes, when you're doing algebra, you can leave it like that. Because I can't divide it any lower. 13 won't divide by 3. And the only number I can divide 3 by is 3 and 1. So that's in lowest terms, so I get to leave it improper.
I thought, how do you get this 13? I thought, isn't it 8 plus 7?
It's negative 8 over 3.
Oh,
I don't know, I got to come.
can you show me though?
Okay, but honestly, this is where you use a calculator. You always get a calculator, so that's why you need to use it. Plus 7 over 1. You find a common denominator, which is 3. So this gets multiplied by 3 on top and bottom. So this becomes 21. This becomes 3. Denominator is the same. I now have negative 8 plus 21. That's the same thing as 21 minus 8. So that gives me 13 over 3. Okay? That's why you use a calculator. That's basic integers. That has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. Use your calculator. That's a whole nother lesson. All right, moving forward. If you're given slope of negative 4, and it passes through the point 2 comma negative 3. Okay? And it asks you to write the equation of the line. In this case, I've got slope and I've got a point, right? So I should use point slope form, correct? Because I have a point and a slope. Okay? The process is exactly the same as it was over here, although I don't have to start with finding slope. Just use your point slope form. Use point slope form. Okay? Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now I'm going to plug it in. Going back to our front page of our first box, the y and the x are just placeholders, so those aren't going to change. I bring it down. Y. I'm going to bring down my equal sign. I'm going to bring down my parentheses and my x. Those aren't going to change, so that's where you start. Okay? If you're lost on how to start from here, that's what you do first. Okay? Just bring the things down that aren't going to change, and then plug in the information you have from the problem. y1, we'll go to my point. There's y, negative 3. Okay? Slope is my m. So m, slope is negative 4. And my x is 2. You can stop right there if that's what the answer choice has asked you for. But in most cases, it's asking you to put it in slope-intercept form. Okay? So all we do from this point is solve for y. Just like we did on the previous problem. We solved for y to get slope-intercept form. Okay? We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to solve this for y. First thing, I need to deal with my parentheses. Negative 4, I'm going to distribute everything inside. So I get y minus a negative 3 equals negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 2 is going to be a positive 8. In the front part, I've got a double negative here, don't I?
Yes.
When you have a double negative, it becomes a positive. So I'm going to change those to plus 3. Okay. Now I'm going to move this 3. I want to get y by itself. I'm trying to isolate the y. So I need to get this 3 over here. If it's plus 3, then I need to subtract it from both sides. I'm going to do minus 3 here, minus 3 here. This one cancels. I have y by itself. equals negative 4x. 8 minus 3 is 5. And there's your final answer. Is that in y equals mx plus b form?
Yes.
Okay. Questions on that one? Is that any good? Okay. Haven't eaten mine yet. It's just my timer to go pick people up, but we can stay. Mr. Krieger is going to pick up for us. All right. Question on this one? Are we good? All right. I'm going to talk about graphing it. Okay, you're given the equation in point-slope form. Okay, can we graph from this form? No, we need it in what form to graph it?
Y equals mx plus b.
There we go, slope-intercept form. So again, just like we did on the first one, and just like we did on the second one, we're going to go from point-slope to slope-intercept form by solving for y, isolating that y. I have y minus a negative 6 equals 4 times x minus 1. First thing is
Distributive property.
distributive property. I'm going to multiply that 4 by everything. So I end up with, camera cuts off there, y equals, oh, nope, not y equals 10, y minus negative 6 equals 4x minus 4. Y is what? Here? Here.
Oh, you just rewrote it.
Yeah, I just rewrote it. Haven't changed anything, I just rewrote it. Next, I'm going to get this y by itself, but before I can deal with the 6, I've got another double negative. Okay, I've got minus a negative 6. So that's going to change to a plus 6. Okay, so that becomes plus 6. I'm going to write this over here so y'all can see it a little better for those who've got a glare. Equals 4x minus 4. So all I did was change the double negative to a positive. It was minus a negative 6, so I changed it to a positive.
You don't have to do anything, you can just change it.
Yeah, because it's double negatives. Remember, if you say, I'm not going to not have ice cream today, it's automatically a positive. Because you're not going to not do it, you are going to do it. Right. It's double, it's a positive.
I'm not gonna not have ice cream today. You're not
So
gonna
next,
have ice cream today.
okay, let me finish before we have to leave. We're going to subtract 6 from both sides. This 6 cancels. I have y equals 4x. I have negative 4 and negative 6. Use a calculator if you're unsure about integers. Negative 4 and negative 6 gives you negative 10. Then I'm done, right there. Slope-intercept form, I can now graph it. I have a y-intercept of negative 10. I have a slope of 4. Slope is rise over run. I don't have a fraction here, so 4 is a whole number, which means it's over what? 1. 1. So that's over 1. Which means I'm going to go, huh? I start at negative 10. That's my beginning, right? B stands for beginning. That's my y-intercept. So I'm going to start at negative 10. I'm going to go up 4, right 1. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. If you have at least 3 points, you can make a line. I'm trying to do this without a ruler.
You have to do it, you have to have at least 3 points.
You need at least 3 points to make a line. Yeah, at least 3 points. That makes sure it doesn't get wonky and go diagonal when it's not supposed to. Okay? Yes?
You only say that.
This is not an inequality, this is an equation. This is not an inequality, it's an equation. Okay? If it were an inequality, guys, everything remains exactly the same. You do nothing different when you're writing an inequality. The only thing that changes is the equal sign is now a greater than or a less than symbol. What changes is when you get to here and you have to shade. Okay? That's next Monday's session. Okay?
Wait.
On the board, it's right over there.
Right.
Okay, let me stop this before you get up.